Have you ever looked up into the sky and wondered what was there? Higher than the birds, past the clouds, and farther than the moon, a whole host of fascinating objects spin in outer space. Let's imagine for a moment that we can leave the Earth behind and explore the solar system that surrounds it.
Mexican.
Yep, we are Mexican.
We call it the solar system
But
because
what? See,
everything
that's
in
the
it is
sun?
centered around the
Yeah.
sun. And solar
Which one
means
is that
something
one?
to do with the sun.
Moon.
The sun is a
No,
star,
that's our Earth.
just like
Yeah.
many of the
See,
stars
the
that
sun
you
is
can
a star.
see in the night
Yeah,
sky.
that's where we
Just
live.
many
That's where we
times
live.
closer
It's,
to
what's
us.
the name of that place?
Still, the
Earth.
sun is
Earth,
very,
yeah.
very far away
Now
from
watch
the
and
Earth.
listen.
Yeah, it's very
Almost
far away.
93 million
No, we live
miles
on
away.
it.
That's why it looks so
They
small,
said
even though it's the biggest
very far
object in the
away.
solar
No, that's
system.
the other planets.
In fact,
See, look how big the sun
makes
is
up
compared
more
to
than
ours.
99%
See that one?
of the mass
That's
in the
that's
solar
Earth.
system.
That's how big the sun is.
If you put all of the planets, moons, asteroids, comets, and everything else in the solar system together, they would make up less than 1/4% of
Dude,
it.
that's the one that is
The
grown
sun
up, right?
is so
Big,
big
huh?
that it's
Yeah.
more than 100 times
So
wider
big.
than the
Yeah.
Earth. And if it were a
Yeah,
giant
that's
jar,
really hot.
you could fit
Yeah, but
more than
watch,
1,000,000 Earths into it. More than that,
Sun.
the sun is
Say
what
sun.
holds the solar system together. Its massive gravity is what keeps the Earth and all the other planets circling around it instead of drifting off into space. The sun is also what allows us to live on Earth. Without the sun, there would be no heat. There would be no light. Plants could not grow. Water would freeze, and nothing could survive. The sun gives us heat and light because it is always burning. It is a giant ball of gas, mostly hydrogen and
Yeah.
helium,
You're right.
and it burns at millions of degrees in its center.
This burns.
Let's leave the sun now to explore the planets. As we move away from the sun, the first planet we will encounter is Mercury.
Mercury.
Mercury
Yeah, Mercury.
is the smallest planet in the solar system,
That's
much
the most
smaller than Earth, and one of
nice.
only 5 planets you can see from Earth using nothing but your eyes. Of course, it won't look much like a planet. It looks more like a bright star, and many nights you can see it close to the horizon near sunrise and sunset. Mercury is a lot like our moon. It's small and has a rocky surface with craters on it. It has no moon of its own and no air to breathe. You probably wouldn't enjoy a visit to Mercury, since temperatures are boiling hot in the sun and freezing cold in the shade. Something interesting about Mercury is that it is the fastest planet to go around the sun. It only takes 88
It goes
days.
around the sun the fastest.
Yeah, it's-
Faster than our planet. It
yeah,
goes
it's
around.
so
is Venus,
fast.
the
Yeah.
second planet.
The second
Some people
planet.
call Venus Earth's sister
This is
because the two
Venus.
planets are very close in
That's
size
Venus,
and gravity,
right?
Yeah,
but
and
they
that's
are
the,
very different on the
it's-
surface.
See, look, it's almost the same size as our
First
planet.
of all,
Yeah,
it is very
the sun
hot.
is almost
Venus
same
is the
size like
hottest
our
planet
No, that
in
was
the solar
Venus.
system.
This
Yeah,
is
that-
Venus.
It's not as close to the sun
look.
as Mercury, but its thick atmosphere of carbon dioxide helps it to trap the heat and stay warmer than its neighbor.
The same size
It
as our
has a
planet,
thick
right?
atmosphere,
You're right.
but it is not one you could breathe. It is mostly made of carbon dioxide.
We can't
See,
there are
they,
clouds
yeah,
of
their kind of
sulfuric
air there,
acid.
you can't breathe there.
No.
Not like our planet has
Venus
fresh
might
air,
not
so
be
we can
fun to
breathe.
visit,
Yeah,
but
And
it
we
is
have
beautiful
water
to
and
look
trees.
at. It is the second
Our
brightest
water
object in the
can't
night
freeze,
sky.
right?
The only thing
Some
brighter
parts
is
do,
the moon.
some parts don't.
If you are looking at a sunrise or a
But look,
sunset
that's Venus.
and
Yeah.
suddenly notice
See,
what
that's
looks
our
like a
moon.
very
Yeah.
bright star,
So if you look
you
at
are
the
probably
moon,
looking
up
at
above
Venus.
would be
Mhm.
Venus, right up there.
Yeah.
After
So
Venus
now you
comes
know where
Earth,
to look for it.
the third
Yeah.
planet from the sun.
We,
Of
and
course,
Our
we-
planet.
you know
This
all
is our
about
planet.
Earth
Listen.
because that's the planet where we live. Earth is what's called a Goldilocks planet because it's not too hot
That's
Listen.
and
the
not too cold.
Listen.
It is just right. As far as we know, Earth is the only planet to have
That's
living
the
things.
sun.
Let's leave Earth again for a moment, though, and visit Mars, the fourth planet from the sun. Mars is known as the red planet because iron oxide,
The
a
Mars
material like rust,
turns
in the
into
soil,
the
gives
red
it a reddish
planet.
color.
Yeah, we call it the red planet.
Mars is
Yeah.
smaller than Venus and the Earth, but larger than Mercury. It is cold and rocky, with a thin atmosphere made of carbon dioxide and
Rocky.
oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
There is water ice on Mars. Scientists are very interested in Mars because they think that people could live there with the help of some special equipment. Rockets and probes have already been sent
Nobody
there
lives
to
there.
gain more
But they
information
think
about the
that
planet.
maybe if we could get a
Right
spaceship
now,
there,
are
maybe
two
we
special
could breathe.
robots
They're
exploring the
trying
surface of Mars,
They're making
sending
it to
information
the
back to
planet.
Earth.
Yeah, we sent robots all the way
Mars
there.
is the
Yeah.
first planet we've visited today
Why is
besides
that-
Earth
why is
to
it
have
like
its own
that?
moons. It has
I don't know,
two,
we're still trying to
although
learn
they are
about
not
it.
big
Listen,
and
we
round
might
like
hear
our
it.
moon.
Oops, I dropped my
Mars's moons are small and irregular. Scientists think they may be captured asteroids. Maybe they came from the big asteroid belt
they're
that is
lying,
between Mars
right?
and Jupiter.
Why?
An asteroid belt is a
No,
big ring of asteroids
Teacher,
or rocky
they
objects
think
orbiting the sun.
They're killing the stars, right?
Jupiter comes
Oh,
next,
you're talking
the
about
fifth
Pluto?
planet in the solar
Yeah.
No, they're
system.
not lying, but it's so
Jupiter
far away
is the largest
that
planet
they have
and is
trouble
something called a
knowing.
gas
Yeah.
giant.
So they thought it was
It is
Pluto
called
was a
this
planet
because
for
it
a
is
long
really
time,
big
Yeah.
but
and
they
made
realized that
mostly
it's
of
not.
gases.
But they're not lying.
Jupiter
Hopefully.
is so big that you would have to place 11 Earths end to end just to
I hope
stretch across its
they're
middle.
not dying
Jupiter
it's
is
not
also
killing
the third
stars.
brightest object in the
Yeah,
night sky.
No.
Only Venus and the Moon are brighter. You can usually find Jupiter higher in the
Yeah,
sky
but
than
let's
Venus,
not worry about that
since
right now.
Jupiter
Let's try
is
to
away
learn
from the
something,
sun
okay?
and not towards it. Jupiter has at least 67 moons that circle around it, but
67
55 of them are
moons.
very
Yeah.
small,
You know how we have
only
one
about
moon
as
in the
big as a
sky?
mountain
Yeah.
or smaller.
That planet has
Some of
67.
its moons are very
Yeah.
large,
That's a lot of
and at
moons.
least 2 of them
That-
are about
that
the
moon
same
is
size
really
as the planet
large.
Mercury. One of its moons is the largest moon in the solar system.
The sun is
Some of
really
these large
big,
moons
right?
can be seen
Yeah,
from
the sun's
Earth
bigger-
in your
bigger than
backyard
anything
with a
else.
telescope. People cannot land on Jupiter because it is made of gas. There is no ground to land on. Even if there was somewhere to land, Jupiter is
See, remember I
covered
told
by
you it's
terrible
made out of gas?
storms,
Yeah.
much stronger than
There's
even the
nowhere
strongest
to-
storms
to-
on Earth.
To land,
One storm
right?
that we
Nope.
know about can be
It's
seen
made
from
of
Earth.
gas.
We
Yes,
call
you're
it the
right.
Great Red
That's
Spot
gas.
because that's what it looks
It's a
like.
part of the
And it
gas.
has been going
the
on
gas
for at least
station.
200
Yeah,
years.
but it's a different
After
kind of
Jupiter
gas.
comes Saturn,
Yeah.
Okay?
another gas giant.
Okay, look. This
Saturn
planet,
is famous for its
this
beautiful
planet's
rings.
made out of gas too.
Yeah.
Although they look solid
What's the name of
from a
this one with the
distance,
rings?
the rings are actually made
the name
from
of that
many,
one?
many small ice particles,
They'll
as
tell
well
us
as rocks.
this.
I know,
and
but
dust.
this one's called Saturn.
Saturn also has
Yeah.
more than 60 moons orbiting around it, some as large as the planet Mercury,
the
and many
rings
smaller.
break because they're made
Something
of
interesting
rock.
about Saturn is
Yep.
that even though it is very large, it is not very dense. That means that if you could find a bathtub large enough to put Saturn in,
You see
it
that
would
color
float
there?
instead of sink.
Just listen, okay?
Saturn is the farthest planet that can be seen from Earth without the help of a telescope.
I'm getting tired.
Getting
After
tired?
Saturn
Okay,
comes Uranus, the seventh
You want to
planet
finish
from
this
the sun.
video tomorrow, or you want to try to finish
Uranus
it now?
is another gas
Yeah,
giant,
finish it.
but it is
Yeah.
much smaller than Saturn and Jupiter.
And
Unlike
look how
any
bigger
other
it is
planet in the solar
than our
system,
planet.
it is tilted so much that it
and
actually
when
spins
we wake up, we
sideways.
can see it again,
Uranus
right?
has
Yep.
rings around it,
And we'll
although
keep
they are
watching
much
it until
smaller
you
than
learn it all.
Saturn's.
Till
and
you're able to
27
remember
known
everything, huh?
moons.
Yeah.
You already
Uranus
got a
is
good
covered
memory,
in
so
blue
you'll be good.
clouds made of
Yeah, I
methane,
remembered the
which
whole
give it its
planet.
lovely color.
I want you to know all the planets.
Jupiter.
Very similar to Uranus is Neptune, the
Neptune.
eighth planet from the sun.
Neptune.
Neptune is another gas giant, and
Yeah,
like
that's a
Uranus,
gas
it has
giant
methane in its
too.
atmosphere, so it
Real
also looks
gas
blue.
It is
giant.
pretty cool.
Neptune
It's blue.
is a
huh?
darker blue
Yeah,
than Uranus, and
that's a-
scientists
that's a
aren't
blue
sure
gas
why.
Giant.
Yep.
Neptune has a
That's
few
blue
thin
gas.
rings and 14 moons
Yep,
that we
blue
know
gas.
about.
Planet.
Because Neptune is so far out in space, it
Neptune
takes
is
it
so
a
far
very,
out
very
through
long
the
time to go around the
space.
sun. Remember Mercury, that only takes 88 days to go once around the sun? Poor Neptune takes over 164 years to finish an orbit around the sun. The last time that Neptune was in the same place it is now was before the American Civil War, before computers, phones, airplanes, or cars had been invented. Neptune has the longest orbit of any planet in the solar
Invented
system.
means when somebody thought of the idea to make them.
Now you may
Yeah,
think that I've forgotten
because
someone.
Jesus
Pluto.
make this
Pluto was discovered in
Jesus
1930
make this
and was listed as the ninth planet in the solar
for
system.
none of them.
As it was
None
studied
of them
longer,
make this
scientists
house, right?
realized how small it is.
But listen, it's almost
It is
over, so
much
we gotta
smaller
try
than
to
any other
stay
planet in the
focused,
solar
okay?
system, and even smaller than many other moons. Plus, people started to discover other small, rocky planet-like objects in space near Pluto. Some of them were even bigger than Pluto. In 2006, after 76 years being listed as a planet, Pluto was declared a dwarf planet to show that it was something that was like a planet but much smaller.
See?
There are at least 6 dwarf planets in the solar system, and possibly many, many more.
See, they
That
thought it was a
leaves us
planet,
with
but
8
now they say
official
it's a
planets
dwarf
in our
planet.
solar system: Mercury,
Mercury,
Venus,
Venus,
Earth,
Earth,
Mars,
Mars,
Jupiter,
Jupiter,
Saturn,
Saturn,
Uranus,
Uranus,
and Neptune.
and Neptune.
I hope you enjoyed exploring the solar system with me today. Goodbye till next time.
Good job. High five.
Now it's